2-minute warning.
What is happening? Still a nation, still a fan, still a family. What is going on, man? Welcome to the latest episode of the Terrible Towel post-game show, the Steelers versus the Browns. And we all know how it turned out, right? I'm going to get in and out tonight. I'm telling y'all this. Can't keep doing these late. I know this is the last late game of the year, but I got to get myself in the bed. I have to get myself some rest. All right. So I cannot spend so much time with you guys tonight. In fact, I'm not even going to do the normal rundown of each drive. No, I'm just going to give an overview of what I saw tonight. What I will do is I still will definitely talk about the first drive offensively and defensively, and then we'll just dive right into the details. Seriously. Got to be in and out tonight, man. I still got to take a shower. You know, your boy was on the Peloton bike before the game, so I was sweating. Didn't take a shower before I watched the game, so I still can't lay in my bed without a proper shower. So anyway, let's get right to it, man. Let's say what's up and hello to the early commenters. I see father-in-law Leonard is in here. What's up, father-in-law? I wasn't sure if you were still up. We didn't text at all through the game. That's weird. We normally do. But anyway, let's get right to it, man. Let's say hello to Keith Van Nelson, CT Pittman, Oten Nation. Who else we got in here? Drama Seidel. Hello, the real Missy. Thank you for staying up and hanging out with the boys tonight. We always got to give a proper hello to our ladies. And hello, Miss Lanisha. Thank you for staying up and hanging with the boys tonight. Appreciate that. My good buddy Ron is in the building. Use a big hit. Jordan Mid, Football Mind, Wave Dave, extended family members, special shout out to you, Relfax, Bynor Johnson, Double T, 1614, who else? Anybody else up in here that I may have missed? Is it King Savani? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Charlie Brown, Tony B, Brent Fox, extended family member. What's happening? I'm just looking to see if any more ladies in the chat so I could give them a proper hello. See Antoine Hill in the building, Wyatt Diggy in the building. I don't see any other. Hey, I do. Hello, Miss Sade. Thank you for staying up, hanging out with the boys tonight. We really appreciate that. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. Let me pull up my notes because I'm on the East Coast. I work from home, but I do get up a little earlier, to put my son on the bus and all of that. So can't spend all night with you guys tonight, man. I promise it will be quick tonight, quicker than we're used to. First and foremost, the inactives. Buddy Johnson, Dwayne Haskins, Presley Harvin. I'm assuming, still dealing with matters of his father, man. Blessings and prayers to him. Isaiah Buggs. And then on the COVID list, warmly, Bush still there, Schobert, Banner, McFarland, and Mollett. I talked about that a little bit in the pregame show. I was interested to see how our inside linebacker position would be rotated. And I'm going to talk about the three guys who rotated. Give them a little bit of shout out. I'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk really quick, man, about the penalties in the game. I at some point, I didn't chronologize all of them or track all of them, but I'll just, mention a couple that I noticed. Justin Lane was called for 2 penalties. He had a face mask on the very first punt of the game. And the Steelers at that point, the punt was to the 12-yard line. So shout outs to Waitman. Waitman, punted relatively well tonight. False start by Deontay Johnson. It was on a 3rd and 4. That was the second drive of the game. And then Justin Lane again was called for an illegal shift. It was on a punt. And then Joe Hayden was called for pass interference. It was a 4th and 19. That was near the end of the game. And then also Cam Sutton called for pass interference, which to me, that was very ticky-tack. Cam Sutton's pass interference. And I'm not being a homer here. I'm just, that was a little ticky-tacky, man. And then, Joe Hayden also made a nice play late in the game as well, man. A nice pass breakup like I said, man, Joe Hayden is going to give you those veteran moments. It's going to come down to what is it going to cost for him to stay in Pittsburgh. I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves when it comes to that. What I didn't notate tonight, and I'm sorry if I missed it, I didn't notate the injuries. Somehow I missed the injuries. I do believe that Chooks went out for a couple plays or so and he came back in the game, but I don't know if anyone else got injured. All right, really quick, man. The first offensive series, the Steelers did get the ball first. There was a gain of 4 by Najee Harris on first down, and then we picked up the first down with a real quick pass to Claypool. On the next play, the Steelers go play action, and there was a loss of 4, was a dump down to Freiermuth, and then Ben was unable to connect with Deontay Johnson. The ball goes through his hands, brings up a 3rd and 14, and there was a low snap by J.C. Hassenauer. I definitely wanted to notate that. But then, what I put here, and gets pushed back. I said he got pushed back a little bit on that play. But for the most part, and I'll talk about him a little later, I think he played relatively well. I can't wait to watch the film to really see what the line was doing. But yeah, guys, we were winning the line of scrimmage. Quite a few times, and I'm going to get into why I think that was. But then the Steelers were forced to punt. Waitman, I put here, he had a solid punt. It was 53 yards. Steelers make the tackle on the 12. And then I already talked about Justin Lane getting called for face mask. Browns get the ball on the 27. Defensive series, Spillane shoots the gap and gets a tackle for loss on Chubb right out the bat. Browns go fast and they pick up a nice gain on the very next play to Landry. They took advantage of Spillane in coverage. Steelers able to force a 3rd and 10, and Hooper drops a wide open catch, and the Browns were forced to punt. Like I said, I'm not really going to dive deep into all of the plays, guys. I just, again, if I do that, y'all know I'll be here all night. So let's just kind of talk about high-level things. Some of the things that I notated. Let's talk about those things first. And then we'll give some Ben Roethlisberger appreciation. 9 sacks. 9 sacks by the Steelers defense. Let me ring them off here as far as each person who did it, so you guys know exactly who balled out. And you guys probably already know because you watched the game, didn't you? Total tackles, man. Alex Highsmith had a total of 7. Alex Highsmith played a great game, in my opinion, man. He got a couple sacks of his own. They got him down here for 2, but I believe he had 2.5. He had 3 tackles for loss, but 7 total tackles. He was playing both the run and blitzing very well, edge rushing very well. And remember, I said that before. I said that he's starting to become, or at least trend towards, what we started to appreciate about Bud Dupree later in his tenure with the Steelers. Bud Dupree was able to play the run game pretty well. Bud Dupree was always relatively decent to me in the run game. Always thought that. But then he started to get his pass rush. Some people are going to say, he wasn't as healthy in his earlier years. Whatever the case may be, Bud Dupree started to be more of a force his last 2 years with the Steelers. Alex Highsmith is definitely trending up. The season has been a little slow for him in terms of total sacks. But again, sometimes you just got to watch that progression, man. Everybody's not going to be T.J. Watt right out the gate. But we're continuing, at least I am, I'm continuing to see positive things from Alex Highsmith, man, both, again, in the pass rush game and run defense. So he had 2.5 sacks. Cam Hayward got him a sack. Henry Mondeau got him a sack. Cam Hayward probably got a half sack on that. Derek Tuska, he's sneaking in a couple sacks here and there. He got him one. And then, of course, TJ Watt, the dog, 4 sacks in tonight's game. I mean, just ridiculous. And if I remember correctly, they showed the graphic. I think TJ is at 21.5. So the dude needs a sack, a sack and a half, basically, to become the guy, right? Because isn't it, 22.5 is the record, right? But yeah, man, this kid is TJ Watt. Listen, and I don't want this to be a sidebar, but we often talk about, right? We often talk about the Steelers' drafting ability, and people will say that they don't never hit on first round picks, and then people will say that we haven't drafted any great players in the Tomlin and Colbert era, and I'm like, okay, we're missing a lot of people who were great. Well, let me tell you something. TJ Watt was a hit, and remember, when TJ Watt came out, he was not the projected top edge rusher. He wasn't. We all know that. TJ Watt basically fell to the Steelers. TJ Watt was, and I hate that I'm going to use this analogy, but I think you guys are going to agree with me. TJ Watt in that draft class was the Artie Burns of edge rushers. Let me explain. The Steelers drafted Artie Burns because he was the next quote unquote best of the crop in terms of the more top projected cornerbacks. Artie Burns wasn't the top, but he was one of the main guys that year. They took a shot and they missed. TJ Watt, you could argue, was that as well. He wasn't the top guy. Even Taco, who's now on the team with him, went before him. And TJ Watt was perceived as the project because he only really had one full season as an edge rusher in Wisconsin. Steelers took a shot and they hit just like that. I do see we have some ignorance in the chat, guys, so excuse me. Let me open it up so I can block. Oh, sorry, guys. So I can block that channel. I don't understand why these stupids come back every time. Like, Jesus. But anyway, guys, and my fault. I forgot to update my my computerized moderator to kind of catch some of the language that's used in this idiot's name. Yes, I'm saying idiot because for somebody, and it might be a bot. It might be a bot, but even if it is a bot, for somebody that's created that to do that on every one of my streams, you're an idiot. You have no life. But anyway, TJ Watt, man. What more can I say? Hey, Miss Debbie. I see Miss Debbie is in the chat. Hello, Miss Debbie. Appreciate you staying up with the boys tonight. Appreciate you. Guys, so like I said, quick show tonight. I'm just going to give you my highlights. 9 sacks by the Steelers defense. Played phenomenal. Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball 34 times in the first half and only had 96 yards. But didn't I tell y'all... Did I not tell y'all on the pregame show that Ben Roethlisberger was going to throw the ball 100 times in his last game at Heinz Field? And it kind of calmed it down a little bit later because let me get back to the stats. He ended up throwing it 40-something times, 46 times, 24 for 46, only 123 yards. And then Ben Roethlisberger fashion, going out kind of like Brett Favre, the gunslinger. He throws a touchdown, throws an interception. But listen, man, like I said, I'm going to get to Ben Roethlisberger at the end of the show. But I knew it. I told you. And again, luckily he didn't throw it 70 times. The way it was going. And it was interesting because I was like, Najee, at that very moment, Najee had at halftime was 13 carries for 71 yards. I'm like, what are we doing here? But anyway, that's one thing that I notated. Najee Harris also goes over 1,000 yards in the season in the first quarter. And again, I know, some people are going to say whoop-de-doo, but you can't just scarf at that. And the reason why is we've talked about this offensive line all season, right? And he's been able to do that with a makeshift or a not so good offensive line. And he had a heck of a game. And I'm going to get back to Najee here in just a moment. The Steelers are notated here as well, man. Still kind of slow on offense, and it's been the theme all year. I mean, the first two drives, we couldn't even sniff midfield. And that's just not a good thing. And of course, the Steelers finally scored. They finally scored in the first half. It had been 5 games, and they finally did it. Another thing I notated, man, is, Baker Mayfield, 4 batted balls in the first half, and I think he ended up with maybe 6. I know we batted another one later in the game, but it kind of makes you think, man, I didn't realize this. They said Baker has the most batted balls in the NFL, right? That is interesting. Given Baker's stature, and the reason why I bring that up, because some of us have talked about Sam Howell as being a potential replacement for Ben Roethlisberger, and I've been telling you guys for quite a few months now, maybe weeks, but months probably. He reminds me of Baker Mayfield. I think Sam Howell is a baller. I'm not trying to compare him apples to Baker. I'm just saying he gives me that vibe. And he's a shorter stature as well. And again, I don't know if that's all the reason why, he has a lot of batted balls at the line. I mean, you look at a guy like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not a tall guy. And, maybe it's the way the arc you put on the ball or your release point. I don't know. But like I said, it's definitely something to look at. I don't think Kyler Murray struggles with that. I don't think Drew Brees, did he? I don't know. Maybe he did. But again, kind of reminds me, Sam Howell kind of reminds me of Baker a little bit as far as his style. So I don't really know if that's what I would be looking for the Steelers. Couple other things I want to talk about, guys, but let me just breeze through the drives because I want to highlight some very important plays, in my opinion. Was a nice RPO to the touchdown, to Deontay Johnson. Ben Roethlisberger did like a little quick mini fake to Najee, and boom. I like that. I like that a lot. That was really good, really clean on that particular drive there. What else did I want to notate here, guys? Ray McCloud made a couple big catches, but also Ray McCloud muffed a punt. And I notated here that was a huge turning point. That was a turning point in the game. I mean, it didn't cost us the game, but it was big. It was big because just remember what happened. This was on the 9th drive, if I'm not mistaken. He muffs the punt. And then the drive starts at the Steelers' 5-yard line. The Steelers pretty much go 3 and out. Chooks gets destroyed by Clowney. Clowney was, kind of giving him the business most of the night, but, kind of held his own for, here and there. And Ben gets sacked, almost a safety, but they give him, progress, I guess you want to call it. They said he was hit before going into the end zone. We punt from the 1, and Baker Mayfield is able to come right back on a short field. He finds Peoples-Jones for a big gain, puts him in a goal-to-goal situation, and then they're able to get the touchdown, man, with Njoku over Joe Hayden. So at that point, like I said, the game was a lot tighter, and that was a huge swing. Do I have anything else here that I notated that was like, specific and a standout? Like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with that tonight, guys, because again, it's late. I want to get in and out. Anything else? That boy MJ Stewart was laying some wood out there, won't he? Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about some individual players. There's 2 people that the Steelers need to re-sign, I think, that are currently on 1-year contracts. First, I'm going to talk about Montravius Adams. We may have found something in Adams as a good depth player. We may have found something. Again, I don't know if you guys, watch the game intently the way I do and really pay attention to what's happening. And it's going to be fun to watch the film. But Adams was getting after it. Adams was getting some pass rush. Adams was making some tackles. Adams was chasing down screenplays. This guy is a good piece for this Steelers defense, and I desperately hope that, especially since we got him the way we got him, I hope we'll be able to convince him to re-sign. That is a nice, solid depth piece. I like that. And, could be a security blanket as well in case the Steelers don't get a DT in the draft. I know there's an NT. We need probably more of a bona fide nose tackle because I don't think we're going to give up playing base at times. We played base a lot this season, if y'all think about it, especially when teams started to run on us. It was a lot of times that, I don't know the percentages, but it seems like we were in 3-4 base more than I remember seeing last year. Last year, I felt like we ran sub package more, and I'm sure we still was in the sub package at a higher clip, but I felt like we ran base, quite often. I felt like we ran base quite often this year. So we're not gonna give that up. I don't, look, tongue-tied. We're not going to give that up, I don't think. So we're going to definitely need a nose tackle, a solidified nose tackle. But like I said, re-sign this guy. And the other guy. First of all, I'm going to give this guy a round of applause because I and many of you fronted on him early in the season. Rightfully so, but he might possibly prove us to be wrong. Round of applause to Ahkello Witherspoon. And y'all know I don't have the round of applause on, right? I do this every time when it's late. I always forget to turn it on. Round of applause to Ahkello Witherspoon. I gave him the double round of applause there. Let me tell you something. Ahkello needs to be re-signed. My only fear is that in these last few games that he's played, that he feels like he's earned some free agent money, right? And he goes out there and tests the waters. But I really hope that we are able to re-sign him and Adams. But Ahkello Witherspoon now looks like he was worth the 5th round pick as far as that trade. This guy is playing solid, and that's all that matters. And see, again, a lot of times people like to judge cornerbacks on, completions. He gave up this, he gave up that. Every corner is going to give up a catch. There is no corner in history that doesn't give up completions. Even the great Deion Sanders gave up completions and touchdowns. But the great corners and good corners just play solid at a very consistent rate. And Ahkello Witherspoon, in the times that he has started, it looks like he is playing a consistent game. He's around the ball. He's getting PBUs. He's playing tight coverage. Like I said, sometimes he gives up a catch here and there. He got another pick. And I mean, that was a great pick. He read Baker Mayfield, man, I don't know what you was looking at because Njoku was right in front. But you tried to get greedy and you tried to go a little deeper to that sideline, and Ahkello went and got that thing. This kid is looking like a baller, man. Yes. Let's get him back. Let's bring him back into the fold because I'm liking. It's so funny, right? James Pierre was peaking. And again, I think maybe James Pierre comes back to camp as well, but we thought he was going to have potential. He kind of fell off a bit. Justin Lane hasn't really panned out, right? And then when we get the combination, we might not have this next year, but when we get the combination of Ahkello on the outside, Joe Hayden on the outside, and Sutton in the inside, now we're starting to see a more comfortable secondary, because even Cam Sutton was out there close to some balls tonight. Really close, or right in hands reach, like tight coverage to make it a tougher throw. We looked like a cleaner secondary tonight. Granted, it was against Baker Mayfield, no disrespect, but come on, y'all know. And Baker Mayfield, he's basically got that shoulder problem. It probably wasn't his best, but still, the secondary just looks pretty decent when Ahkello was out there and moving Sutton inside. So we got to get that dude back in the fold, man, for sure. Then I want to give a shout out, man, to Spillane, Allen, and Gilbert. Let me tell y'all something, man. They play relatively well. Spillane, listen, we keep talking about we don't have a guy that's your Vince Williams type that's going to shoot the gap. But let me tell you something. Excuse me, Devin Bush, I hope you paying attention to how this kid shoots the gap. Now, he's bigger than Devin Bush, but Spillane might not be the best in pass coverage. I get it, but that guy shoots the gap. He shoots the gap more than we've seen Schobert and Bush do it at a consistent rate. And even like I told you guys, the last 3 games that we saw Devin Bush, I think Devin Bush was playing a lot better, in my opinion. He was playing his better football of 2021. But we shall see. No, Bush wasn't benched, man. Bush was he's on the COVID list, so he wasn't benched. And Bush has been on it for 2 games, man. So, I'm gonna be honest. Let's put everything else to the side. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. He's missed 2 games due to COVID. So let's be compassionate for a moment and let's not be crazy fans and have a heart. I hope he's all right. You understand what I'm saying? He could be going through it. He could very well be going through it if he's still out. That's significant. But outside of that, man, listen. I jokingly put in the title that the Steelers win their 2021 season playoff game, and this was it. This was it because, again, even if the Steelers go beat the Ravens, which I don't know if they will or not in Baltimore, you still are in a position where you need other teams to do stuff for you, right? So I'm never gonna hang my hat on that. It's burned the Steelers too many times. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those scenarios. And again, I still feel the same way. I still feel like this Steelers team is not gonna make any noise in the playoffs if we got there. I'm not coming off of that just because they had a decent showing tonight. I'm not gonna come off of that. This team has been what they have been for 2021. Now, here's what's interesting. I didn't want to forget this point, and I almost did. And then we'll talk a little Ben Roethlisberger, and I'll come here in the chat, and then we'll be out of here. I'm doing great on time. Only 27 minutes so far, so I'm going to try to speed this up. Steelers were able to run the football tonight, folks, at a very high clip. Najee Harris had 6.7 yards a carry. 6.7. Remember, Najee, and actually that is one thing I wanted to talk about. Let me find it. It was one drive in particular that ticked me off because we passed the ball 3 times in the red zone, man. I mean, we were in a goal-to-go situation. Let me find out which drive was it. I can't even see it on my own notes. Hold on. Don't want to take too much time here, but I remember Najee had at that moment, Najee Harris, I can't believe I can't find it because I remember texting it to Kenyon and Tony during the game. But there was a spot in the game when Najee had 100 yards already on the ground, right? And we throw the ball 3 times. Back to back. Matter of fact, hold on. It's in my text because I text Kenyon and Tony. I just want to make sure I have the numbers right. Y'all know I try to be as accurate as I can, man. Let me see. Can I find it? I mean, if I don't find it, it's not that important, guys. But I think y'all remember. I think you guys would remember when it happened. So I'm not going to waste too much time looking for it. If I see it here as I'm scanning through there it is. It was the 8th drive. The 8th drive of the Steelers offensively, right? Najee Harris on that drive, he breaks Franco Harris's record, and I definitely wanted to mention that. I gave MJ Stewart some credit tonight, but Najee definitely paid him back with that vicious stiff arm, right? Then we convert a 3rd and 3 to Deontay Johnson. It was a beautiful route by Deontay Johnson. Steelers then go pass heavy, and I wrote this in bold letters. Steelers go pass heavy again and are held to a field goal. At that very moment, Najee was 16 carries for 105 yards. 105. For whatever reason, we get in a goal-to-go situation, and we pass the ball 3 times. Didn't understand that. But I did understand that because I told y'all Ben Roethlisberger was going to throw the ball 100 times. But just kind of ticked me off a little bit. I don't care if it's the end of the season. I'm still going to be the same critic all the way through. But, man, listen. I don't want to put it on one person. But I want to remind y'all something before I say this. Cleveland Browns came into this game. I looked at it during the game. They were ranked number 6. Number 6 against the run. in the NFL. We all know they're a good run defense team. We all know that. Najee Harris, 28 carries for 188 yards. And I know that he got, what was that? A 40-something yard play at the end. What a way to ice the game. But still, even take that away, Najee was at 130 plus yards late in the fourth. So I have to say this. I really believe, and when I watch the film, I will know for sure. I really believe we ran the ball better without Kendrick Green. Why am I calling him out? Is because I don't recall seeing JC getting pushed around too much or pushed back or being on his keister. When I saw JC Hassenauer to the ground, it was on the ground. It was ahead of the line of scrimmage, meaning he was trying to continue to block. I got to watch it again. I can't say every play. When I watch the film again, unfortunately, I won't have that information for you guys, obviously, tomorrow for Terrible Towel. Because, if I get a chance to rewatch the game, the TV view, I really want to get to all 22, but I won't have it by tomorrow. But this run game seemed to play a lot better with fixing the middle. Now, Turner wasn't his best tonight. Dan Moore did relatively decent against Myles Garrett. We had also got a nice run. I saw it once or twice. We did the unbalanced line where we put Moore on the right side. I saw us get back to more of our zone split type of run where you bring down Freiermuth or Gentry and crack back. But yeah, it's just interesting to see, man, that the Steelers not having a run game most of the season, or intermediate run game at best, and we ball out tonight. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, maybe Cleveland it's week 17, they're eliminated and all that. No, them guys was out there playing. I'm not going to say that. They were out there playing, because when you're in the trenches, you can't lollygag or you get yourself hurt. So, again, I think it was because Kendrick Green, man, the Steelers were not losing the line of scrimmage in the middle. I really think that had a big part of it. But, again, TBD on me definitely saying that until I see the film. But overall, man, great win for the team, man. It's great for Ben to go out like that. Clearly, this is his last game, guys. I know he says he doesn't speak in absolutes, but, you do that victory lap the way you did. He's got tears in his eyes. You see it in the thumbnail when he's talking to Lisa Salters. This is it. This is it. And it is what it is. What a heck of a career, and I'm not going to shower him with everything just yet. I'll give it its proper due. And maybe what we'll do, I got the ladies here listening in the chat. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have us another still table with the ladies. We'll do a ladies still table and reflect on Ben Roethlisberger, and then we'll do one with the fellas as well. And, we'll give him his proper just due and all of that. But I just thought it was a great way for Ben, to end his run at Heinz Field. And again, they mentioned it on the broadcast, in case you guys forgot. That name might not even be Heinz Field anymore. And it would be kind of unique, man, if the place where he played the most, and, now he's in the record books as one of the quarterbacks that's had, the most wins in one venue, and then you leave and the name leaves. That would be just a crazy, unique coincidence. But, great game. And here's what I want to ask you guys, right? Because y'all know I'm consistent with this every time. The coach have the team ready to play tonight? I'll wait. Go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves. Because y'all know how I feel. I feel like a professional team prepares the same way every week in terms of they don't slack off when it's a certain team. I think they always come in with intentions to win, and they always come in ready to play. So I think that is way too cliche when people say, oh, he had that team ready tonight. oh, he didn't have his team ready. So again, for you guys that like to go down that road, so did he have the team ready to play tonight? Or are we going to give credit to the players for executing? Which one is it? Now that we're in week 17, which one is it? Was it coaching tonight or was it the players? Because, again, some of y'all flip-flop so often. Yeah, I'm just curious. Yes, they did. Is it Batterista? Yes, they did. The offense definitely struggled. See, we consistent with our opinions. The offense struggled. Yeah, we got the run game going, but the offense still just didn't have that pizzazz. You know what I mean? Good thing they was able to run the ball tonight. Offensive play calling was still questionable. That's what Football Mind says. Yeah, I did not like a lot of that. I did not like a lot of what I saw from that. It was that, but again, man, I think tonight was Ben's night. Clearly, he was running a lot of that show tonight because he was passing. Ooh, Miss Debbie asked a real question. She says, "No, Sim, let's ask if Tomlin is responsible for AB quitting on Tampa." Oh man, but yeah, I'm just playing around, guys, because again, I think the fan base gives the coaches too much credit for a loss and for a win. So I always just like to play a little bit, man, and see how you guys feel when it's positive situations, right? Because this is what's going to happen. Steelers go to Baltimore and lose. Same people gonna come out and say Tomlin didn't have them, or the coaching staff didn't have them ready to play, and that's why they missed the playoffs. I guarantee you. And by the way, I hate to be the one to break the news to you guys, man, but again, for anybody that was hanging on to the hope of Mike Tomlin having a losing season and finally getting fired, well, guess it didn't happen again, huh? So, yeah, it does suck that we're not, front runner in the playoffs and we're not likely to get in the playoffs, but I'm just saying, y'all might as well saddle up, man, for the next 3 years and just see where this team goes with this new era, because it is a new era when anytime you lose a quarterback the caliber of Ben Roethlisberger, man. Big A, shout outs for the donation. Round of applause. Just how ironic is it that a Alabama running back in Harris was going against a Georgia running back and Nick Chubb, yeah, and then they about to play in the thing, right? Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Ooh, I saw another comment, man. Derek Moore says, "No, ask if Arians lost his locker room now." I'm just to me, guys, y'all know I don't swing on either side, man. Listen, I just like to pick holes in narratives, man, when the narrative changes every week. I like and respect the one narrative. Like, I know people who do not like Mike Tomlin nor Keith Butler. Like, they just hate the current coaching staff, and they've been on that. Even when we win, I respect that opinion. Whether you hate or like, just stay consistent, and I'm going to respect it. I just laugh at the flip-flopping. I just always laugh at that. But all right, man, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Like I said, I wasn't going to be too long. It's already a little long, but I will give you guys a few more minutes. Let me read some comments here, man. Like I said, a great win for the team. If you still have hope for the playoffs, then y'all know what it takes. The Steelers are going to have to go to Baltimore and win, and not only that, they're going to have to hope that the Jags beat the Colts and hope that the Raiders and the Chargers don't tie. So there's a lot that needs to happen. But, yeah. What y'all got, man? Leonard Green says, every fan base has their fair weather fans. I see Cowboys crap everywhere now. Yeah. The Cowboy fans be and no disrespect to the Cowboy fans. Well, you know what? Because some of the fans in the Steeler Nation do the same thing. Cowboy fans think they win in the Super Bowl every year. And when they ain't nowhere close to it, what they say, that's all right. But next year. They are delusional. At least I can say I'm not like that. And like I said, a good portion of the Steeler Nation isn't like that. But we got some of those too. Let's see. Paul Bullock says, how about TJ Watt needs to sack? How about TJ Watt? He needs to sacks. I don't think that's the right wording. I think you're either saying he leads in sacks or you're saying he needs a sack to get the record. So whichever one of those you're attempting to say, yes. The answer is yes. Wave Dave says, Ben missed on the RPO in the red zone. Najee should have had 2 touchdowns. Oh, okay. I got to go back in and peep that one. You talking about the one where he should have handed it up? Yeah. Sure did. He should have handed that ball off. I know what you're talking about. Thunder God says, did you see the shout out AB gave Ben before the game? Much respect. No, I missed it. Like I said, man, I said it last night. I think AB, there's some things going on with him, man, mentally, personally. That's why I said I like last night on the pregame show. I'm not pounding on AB. I know some people get a high out of that. They kick him while he's down. I'm like, come on, I'm just not that type of human. Clearly something's going on with him. Round of applause to Lyle McCombs for the donation. No. The answer is no. You know why? Because nobody should touch Deshaun Watson until all of that stuff he's going through is clear. And I'm not even going to speak it. There's no need of me even speaking on that until we know what the deal is. So, yeah. Now, if everything's clear with him and, nothing is going on, then sure. Oh, Lord, we got the spammer again, guys. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's get the idiot. Let's get the idiot out of here, man. I tell you, boy, it's funny that somebody can get their rocks off like that. I swear. If that's all it takes, God bless you. If that's all it takes, God bless you. Let's see. What else we got? Football Mind says, let's be real fans. Tonight's performance, inspirationally motivated with Ben last game. Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, but me personally, there's nothing to get real about. Myself, I've been real for the last several weeks. Look at the title. The Steelers won their playoff game for the 2021 season tonight. Let's see. Poe says there's only 20 plus cases against him. Yeah, man. Deshaun, listen, I love Deshaun Watson, man. I loved him as a player. He seemed to be a good guy, man. And, you just never know. And, again, I don't speculate too much on him either because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Leonard Green says, I think AB is crazy. He just wants to live by his own rules. He's not the only one in the world like that. That might be true, Leonard Green. But again, I don't want to speculate on the AB stuff, man, because again, I think something here might be going on. And even if it's not a mental illness, it could be anything. It could be PTSD. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? His traumas that he may have had growing up. Maybe he's always had this bottled up. Again, shout outs to the Pittsburgh organization. Shout outs to Mike Tomlin. They kind of kept that under wraps for a very long time. And yeah, I don't know how they did it. But I just hope Antonio Brown, if there is a real issue, man, I hope he, gets the help that he may perhaps need. I can't never say this name correctly, so I'm just going to say Virgin. He says, remember Strahan's last sack? They gave him the record. Favre said something to him, and the next snap, he rolled out to Strahan's side and fell on the ground. Strahan touched him down for the record. Yeah, I definitely remember that, man. I don't think TJ would want it like that. But I definitely remember that. It looked like he just went right down. Sport 8. Round of applause. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. He says, how good is Najee to break the rookie rushing record while actually rushing some games for only 25 to 30 yards? He's going to be a beast. That is a great point, because I know they kept making the point on the telecast, man, that, Franco Harris did it with a 14-game season. That's impressive. And Najee did it in 16 games. But like you said, we all remember them games when Najee only rushed for like 30-some yards. So very impressive. Very impressive. And man, yeah, once we get a line that's consistent, sky's the limit. We have a beast. We have a monster in Najee Harris. And also, man, I know we talking about TJ Watt, and somebody mentioned Strahan earlier. TJ ain't even play all the games either. While we talking about, games and people being phenomenal, I think TJ already would have broken the record had he played all the games this season. So, yeah, man. Who had the better stiff arm, Najee or Chubb? I think Najee's only because the outcome. It looked worse when he just pushed him and jumped over him. Chubb's was nasty too, though. Don't get me wrong. All right, a couple more, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm dead serious. It's 12:40 a.m. right now, so I'm going to get up out of here. Mr. ABS says, Sim, I mentioned earlier that our offense would be much different with the mobile quarterback for the RPOs. Just that threat itself is seen across both college and pros, and having the right quarterback matters. Ben wasn't that. Yeah, Ben was what he was in his 39-year age, 18-year season. And again, I'm not saying he's an old man at 39, but to play quarterback in the NFL the way Ben Roethlisberger played all of his career, it just caught up. Afro Thunder says, think about it next season. The O-line will be on the point. This season, they were getting their feet wet and trying to get chemistry. Okay. Very possible. Miss Debbie says, Sim said the exact same thing, Sade. Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm on the same page with you ladies. I didn't see what Sade said, but I will definitely take your word for it there, Miss Debbie. KB says, Trey Turner is sigh. Yeah, Trey Turner won't be back next year. I'm pretty sure of that. Oh, man, yeah, Lyle McComb says, you see Ben walk off. His hip is jacked. Yeah, man, he just... Well, like I said, it was fitting, man. It was definitely fitting for that man to end his Heinz Field run the way he did, getting that win, man. I really appreciate that. Jeremy Johnson, I'm not going to jump right on that yet. Now y'all know it. My time is starting to come up where I really dive into prospects. Kenyon has already started. But once I really I look back and see exactly what I want to improve with the team. Then I go look at prospects, and then I try to guesstimate where they're gonna go. Also, they depending on what free agents are out there, the Steelers might be in the market for more free agency moves in the offensive line. I think they do a combination of both. You get a free agent and you draft somebody. They might not necessarily need to draft two. I think if a guy like Linderbaum is there, you got to do that. Because I do believe Kendrick Green was a healthy scratch tonight. He was dressed. So right there just goes to show you that the Steelers might want to get better at center. He was limited, but he was not inactive. That is important. He was not inactive. He was limited in practice, but he was not inactive. Could be injury related. I don't know. All right, one last one. Lydell Dorsey, he says, how much credit does the new offensive line coach get for this game? There were more double-team blocks reminiscent of Mike Munchak tenure this game since Clem leave of absence. That is a great point, Lydell Dorsey. To be honest and to be fair, I really would have to go watch a comparison of maybe 2 or 3 games and see if I can, identify a high rate of something different. What we did do, like you said, we did get back to a few more double teams, and we got back to that zone split. That run that we like to run a lot when you're getting your wham in the tight ends. We had gone away from that. So I don't know if that's offensive line related as far as the coach or coordinator related. I would think that when they all meet, they help each other. I think everyone gives input to Canada on what we should do based on how players are playing. So yeah, maybe you give him some credit. He has been there all season, but I don't know. I don't know how much his responsibility changed as far as his voice. You know what I'm saying? So that's TBD as well. But I will say this. It definitely puts a bid in for him for next season. You're the acting offensive line coach, and your offense rushes for 188 yards with Najee. Yeah, that's a good way, a good interview, if you will. But all right, guys, it's late. I'm going to get out of here, man. Peace and love to you guys, man. I will be back tomorrow. So that's another reason why I could cut this one a little more short. You guys know the phone calls are tomorrow. And if y'all want to, y'all can do a Ben appreciation, whatever y'all want to call about. But tomorrow, since, we talk so much about the game tonight and it's tomorrow, it's Terrible Towel, I might not watch the game over again. If I get some time during the day, I will. We'll really just dive right into phone calls for the most part tomorrow. So I appreciate some of the new subscribers. I see Andrew Solomon. Saw a couple other people. I thank you and I welcome you guys. So let me explain what I usually do every Tuesday. Terrible Towel Tuesday. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The phone number that you see here on the screen, 619-924-0818, is the call-in number. And Tuesdays is the night for calls. During the season, I do a post-game show that you're watching right here. I do a pre-game show as well. Obviously, when the season ends, we won't really have those. Maybe we'll do another. I'll try to find another, another intermediate stream I can pick up, as well as Terrible Towel Tuesday. But obviously, it slows down a little bit during the off season. But I welcome you guys to call in tomorrow. Look forward to that. All right, so you guys have a wonderful night. Before you go, since I do see new subscribers, I'm going to remind some of you all to do that as well. If you haven't already, subscribe. Why not? I promise you will enjoy it. When you are subscribed, make sure you turn on your notification. And the only thing I ask of my viewers to do, whether you're subscribed or not, please show me if you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. If you did not, thumbs down. It won't hurt my feelings, but please express how you felt about the video. Outside of that, I hope you guys enjoyed this Victory Monday. Hope you enjoyed seeing your quarterback for one last time at Heinz Field, and it's good to send him off with the victory. Only thing that upsets me is I had intentions on going to that game, but unfortunately, I'm just not out here like that. I'm just one of them. I'm just not all out in the streets right now while this pandemic is still live and living. So I just didn't go. That's just my personal opinion and personal choice. But outside of that, man, hope you guys have a lovely rest of the night. Get you some sleep. Have a great day tomorrow at work. If you're off, I'm jealous. But outside of that, thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow for Terrible Towel Tuesday. But tonight, I thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show.